Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Badland Hunters, a Korean action thriller from 2024 that stars Ma Dong-seok. And it's actually a sequel to Concrete Utopia from 2023, a film that I recently reviewed and I liked it, but said that I would never want to watch it again. So going into Badland Hunters, I was a bit concerned, obviously, that it would maybe be too loyal to its predecessor, because I was really not in the mood for another slow-paced, dramatic thriller about the after effects of an earthquake. However, two things gave me comfort. The classification is an action thriller instead of a drama, and Ma Dong-seok, right? Because these two things combined usually provide for good entertainment, because we all love seeing Ma punch people in the face. So going in with this limited knowledge, I was cautiously optimistic about Badland Hunters. So how did it turn out? Well, in a post-apocalyptic Seoul, a relentless wasteland hunter, along with his friend and other survivors, are living a hard life in their village. They navigate the desolate wastelands and scavenge for resources to sustain their community. Trouble ensues when a young girl, who is from their village, is kidnapped by a rogue scientist who has been illegally experimenting with making humans immortal by injecting them with a certain serum, which has led to the death of many people. So a little bit of a different plot compared to Concrete Utopia, right? So the opening scene occurs immediately prior to the earthquake, with like the scientist attempting to inject an unconscious girl with some kind of drug or something like that, experimental thing. And agents storm into his office and wound him and stop him, but the earthquake hits and the building collapses. The film then cuts to a hilarious, I gotta say, post-apocalypse scene where a young man gets attacked by a vicious CGI alligator until Ma Dong-seok saves him. So already you could tell that Badland Hunters it's going more for a schlock vibe here instead of like a serious drama contender. But it's kind of fun, even early on. And Ma and his buddy are working together to hunt animals and provide meat at the local market for survivors of the earthquake. Now, in terms of story structure, Badland Hunters shifts between Ma punching people in the face and the girl being held hostage in the same apartment building as Concrete Utopia. Now, obviously, the apartment building scenes are less fun than watching Ma beat the crap out of people, but there is some tension earned during those scenes because near the beginning, the bad guys offer this girl a great opportunity and a safe life in this Concrete Utopia apartment complex. But they are, in fact, luring her into a life-threatening situation. And the girl suspects when she gets there's something wrong with the people in this building, There's something not quite right here. She doesn't know exactly what it is, but there's something wrong, and that provides a little bit of intrigue, I guess. However, due to the story structure, there is a noticeable dip in action during like the middle third of the movie. And this does create a pacing problem, and Ma disappears for a little bit of time in that middle section. So that is a bit of a problem. Thankfully, the fun ramps up again near the end. Big time. So during the first two-thirds of Badland Hunters, the action consists of Ma punching bad guys in the face. There's a gang that shows up to bully the local townspeople. He takes care of business. Then the main conflict emerges, and the fights are moderately entertaining, but, the camera work and the editing, bit too shaky and choppy for my liking, and I say this all the time with Korean action movies, But again, there are certain fights in the movie that have less editing and work better. So it's a mixed bag. I would say the worst fight in the movie is actually kind of the first fight of the film, I would say. And then you get another bigger fight in this like big building where two rival gangs or groups of gangs are fighting, and Ma shows up and gets thrown into the mix. And that fight's better. And you can see like there's some cool moves that are, that the protagonists break out. So another thing that helps is that some of these bad guys, these evil agents, I guess you could call them, have a surprisingly high tolerance for damage and injury, which makes them difficult to kill, and that element also adds some additional fun for sure. So I would say at the 2/3 mark of this movie, even during the I guess the filler section, I would have rated Badland Hunters as a watchable flick, like a pretty good action flick. A typical Ma film, really. Then we get the big finale, which takes this film up a whole level. And it's basically one long, sustained infiltration sequence where Ma Dong-seok and our fellow protagonists storm the apartment complex with a bulletproof truck. And once they're inside, we get the best action of the entire film, just like hands down. And it's like a nonstop mix of gunplay, martial arts, and bloody violence. And there are moments when our boy Ma just turns into an absolute killing machine. And this is why you watch the movie, and the filmmakers give you what you want, especially during the finale. And after that sequence ends, I think a lot of people will be satisfied. I briefly mentioned the bloody violence, all right? It's significantly more graphic than what I was expecting, actually, which is a nice plus. You get some bad guys getting decapitated, which is cool. And there's some entertaining kills in this movie. There's also a sci-fi element that's just kind of stupid and ridiculous, but, I mean, whatever. Like I said, this is more of a schlocky vibe to this film. And there were some scenes that made me laugh. Most of which I think were intentional. Ma gets some good, funny moments as well as action moments in this. There's a bit of black humor in this for sure. So I would say, despite the pacing issues of the middle section, I recommend Badland Hunters. I do. If you're in the mood for, a dumb action flick and you like Ma Dong-seok, check it out. It's currently streaming on Netflix. It's a fun flick. And as always, I'll see you next time.